And we are rocking and rolling. Good evening, gentlemen. We are live. Good evening, David. David is live. Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, a few things. This is going to be in Yetz Hashem, the final shiur before Pesach. Okay, because I'm going out of town. So that's number one. But in Yetz Hashem, we will resume after Pesach. In Yetz Hashem. That is the first announcement. Second announcement. So this is Sefer Sifsei Chein on Pesach. Now, the truth is, I'll be honest with you, that Sifsei Chein is a work in progress. Okay? So they have today a whole kollel of chushuva people, working on making this farm. Sifsei Chein was originally, it didn't always look like this. There is an old edition of Sifsei Chein. This is the new and improved edition. It's totally improved. To make a long story short, so this is probably the first edition of the Pesach edition of Sifsei Chein. Now, since then, now they have a hardcover one. It's for sure, it looks to be probably double the size of the new one. Okay, they're always adding. It's a work in progress. They're fantastic. It's great. So, to be honest, if anyone wants to go to Miriam's, they might have a copy of Pesach, unless they sold out already. I don't know. So, if you knew for a fact you can get it at Miriam's, I would encourage you to buy the new edition. However, the essential Sifsei Chein is the same. So, if you take this one, you're going to be getting 75 or 80% of the important material. I happen to have 3 of them. I bought these years ago, just to spread the light. So at that time, here's the price tag. It was $12 American at Eisler's. Okay, so I guess today that's around $18, $17. Whoever wants one can have one for $15. It's your lucky day. Okay, so you'll let me know after this year if anybody wants one of these. I have 3 copies here. That's what I got. It's very, very kedai. It's very worth it to spend some time before Pesach with this sefer. Even if you spend an hour, even a half hour, it'll change your whole Pesach experience. Okay, and he's going to talk about the Seder. He's going to talk about the inyan of what chametz means, bedikas chametz. It's action packed. It really is. They do a fantastic job, and it's the same style as this. It's the exact same style. So, right. So, in the center is the main text. Even if you just go through the center, you won't regret it. It's amazing. And then if you have extra time, you do what's on the side. You do below the line. It's a fantastic sefer. And by the way, I probably said it already in the past. By now, they've basically done every Yom Tov. I think even the one for Pesach could be also Sfiras Ha'omer. Okay, so it's very kedai. Not this one, but the new one. However, even now as we speak, they're working on I understand that they're working on a 2-volume set for Shabbos. There's going to be a Sifsei Chein on Shabbos. And as we speak as well, they come out. If anyone wants to be part of the list, you can contact me. There is an email that goes out once a week on the Parsha from Sifsei Chein.
In Hebrew.
In Hebrew. Yeah, it is in Hebrew. Yeah, your Hebrew. Yeah, it is in Hebrew. So if anybody wants to get that, that's free. And contact me please after the shiur, and I can set you up to get that. Okay. Okay, next. So now I just wanted to briefly. Does anyone know the Hebrew date today? No. The Hebrew date today is Vav Nisan. Does anyone know whose your site is it? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, I promise.
Someone in Chabad.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
Why? Why did you say that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think I heard someone say something last week that there was some Chabad.
Yeah? It could also be. So I'll tell you. So the Yortzeit tonight was a very, very, very big tzaddik. His name, they referred to him as Reb Arala. His last name was Roth. If you were to write it in English, you would write it Roth, R-O-T-H. Rabbi Haran Roth. And anyone knows anything about him? No. Okay, so today, let me tell you an interesting story. When I first went to Eretz Yisrael for my very first time, okay, I was 23, 24, something like that. I'd never been there. I had a close friend there, my friend Shmuel Burich Brandwein. Very close friend. I'm still a close friend of his. And he wanted to show me all the interesting things of Yerushalayim and Eretz Yisrael in general. And he took me on Shabbos to daven in Toldos Aaron. Okay? Toldos Aaron is the Chassidus that Reb Arla wrote, started. And I'll just tell you the experience, okay? The experience was amazing. First of all, I'll talk about it in a minute. They align mostly with the Satmar Shita, okay? And as a matter of fact, he started his Chassidus in Satmar. He was born in Hungary, and he started his Chassidus in Satmar. So the Shittas, the opinions of the Chassidim of Toldos Aaron are very, very similar to the Satmar opinions as far as state of Israel, Zionism, etc. I'm not saying pro, con. I'm not saying I agree with it. I don't agree. I'm not going into that. I'm just telling you facts.
Matter of fact.
Matter of fact. That's all. I'm not yet. Yeah. He took me there, my friend, for Shabbos morning. I came in there. Okay, in Yerushalayim, you have the minig of Yerushalayim is to wear a kaftan. Okay, it's not really. It depends. I mean, in Ger they wear bekishes, right? Like everybody wears over here. But the real minig Yerushalayim that I believe was started from Rav David. He at least formalized it. Harav Hatzadik Rav David Lelever, Rav Moshe Lelever made Aliyah, and he started this golden kaftan. It could be there was such a thing before, but he formalized it and he made it all gematrias, this many pieces and sewed in this way. Very interesting. Anyway, there's a special kaftan that they wear. It's like a long silky garment that they wear in Yerushalayim. On Shabbos, it's gold. Okay, it's gold. So I walked into this place, and the whole place, it was fascinating. I'll describe it to you. And I never saw anything like that in my life. It was a big giant base medrash, packed with hundreds of people. Everybody was dressed in gold. Okay, and I don't know why. Most of them were blonde. Okay, so it matched very nice with the kaftan. And they had these long golden payas. I have to tell you, very good-looking people. I walked in there and I was like, whoa, and the place was rocking. Like their shit is to daven loud. Did you ever daven in Stalin? Okay, they daven very loud in Stalin. This was very similar. So I walk in there and I see like an army of golden malachim screaming out in prayer. It was like, whoa, it was very, very intense. It was very geschmack. I'll tell you what was fascinating. I looked at the clock, and the clock was an hour off. So I was like, I couldn't figure out, is it really 11 o'clock, or is it 10 o'clock, or what? Like, I was trying to figure it out. My friend explained to me that they are so anti-Zionist that when the Medina changes the clock, they do not change. They go on their own time. Because why should we change our time if the Zionists are changing? Like, what do we have to do with that? We're separate. Can you imagine? Like, again, I'm not saying plus, I'm not saying negative, I'm not criticizing or going, it's interesting. It's just some people might say it's crazy. You can say whatever you want. It was certainly an experience. He passed away a year before the Medina was formed. However, his shittas were very, very, very strong anti-Zionist. He wrote many svarim. The most famous sefer is called Shomer Emunim, 2-volume set. and that sefer is like, it's very fire and brimstone, very much into kedushas einayim, kedushas hamachshava, not looking at bad things, not thinking about bad things. Shmiras habris, he was very, very like open with these things. That was his thing. Ad kedei kach that there's another sefer called the Taharas HaKodesh, and there's other ones also. I grew up in Babav, so I learned in Baba Mesifta. In Baba Mesifta, they had the Svarim in the Beis Medrash, but we were encouraged not to learn them. Do you hear that? They had them, but we were encouraged not to learn. So what does that mean? They had them because, what do you mean, Rabbi? All the Svarim are, you have to have that. Like, what do you mean? You have to have it. However, the shitta probably of the Baba Rebbe Reb Shlomo, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha, was that these Svarim are too strong. And if a person takes them very to heart, and a person is not holding by the things that it says in these Svarim, he can come to very big depression. Now, again, in Toldus Aaron, they don't have any problem with it. In Toldus Aaron, they're into these Svarim, they're fine. But that was the opinion of probably Reb Shlomo Babaver. Maybe unless he got it from his father, could also be. Now in the end, this Chassidus ended up splitting into three. Today it's at least three. It might be more. When he passed away, his son took over, but then his son-in-law also took over, and then somebody passed away, and there was a third split. So today you have a chassidus called Toldus Aaron, you have a chassidus called Shomer Amunim, and you have another chassidus called Toldus Avram Yitzchak, because the one that Anikel that started that grandson that started that, his name was Avram Yitzchak, or son-in-law or something. So you had today you have three big chassidusim in Yerushalayim, and that's it. I highly encourage anyone to go to Eretz Yisrael to stop in and Toldus Aaron. It's really truly an experience. Okay, moving forward, gentlemen. So let's see where we were.
Somewhere around Kuf Tzadik base.
Oh, thank you. We're on Kuf Tzadik base.
We're dealing with the footnote is Lamed Gimel.
Kuf Tzadik base. Oh, Kuf Tzadik base. Oh boy, am I confused. Wait. Kuf Tzadik base. Oh, here we are. Okay, and we're on which one?
We're doing the note Lamed Gimel, so
We didn't finish Lamed Gimel?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think we did. I think we did. Sorry? We rushed through it?
Yeah.
We rushed
I
through
wouldn't mind doing it again.
it. Sorry?
Yeah, I think that we rushed a lot because it was like already Marav.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
had to go to
okay.
9:45.
You want to do it again?
I think so. I think that
Yeah, you want it? Everyone wants to do it again?
Yeah, you can review it.
That one footnote you're saying?
Yeah, I think that it was good, but it was like rushed. It was very rushed.
Good, okay, listen. I'm here to serve the congregants. So we shall do it again. So let's talk about what we were talking about. So this is what we were talking about. We were talking about that the davening is divided into 4 oilamois, going from bottom to top is first Yitzira. It first is Asiya, then Yitzira, then Bria, then Atzilus. And we move from one world to the next world as we daven Shachris. So when we start at the beginning of davening, we are in the world of Asiya. And then when we get to Pesukei de Zimra, which is Hoidu, or depending on how you daven, or Yishtabach, not Yishtabach, Baruch Amar, you enter the world of Yitzira. And then after Yishtabach, you enter the world of Bria. And then after that, you will enter the world of Atzilus, which is the Shemona Esrei. So now we're in the third world going from bottom up, the world of Bria. And we had said that in the world of Bria, there are 7 heichalois. A heichal can be translated as a palace, as a chamber, as a room. That's a heichal. And we move through 7 palaces when we're moving through davening. Every morning in Shachris Chaim is here. Ooh, ow! We can reveal the mystery. Welcome. Okay, very good. Welcome. So we move through 7 heichalois in the world of Bria. That's what we were talking about. And as we move, and each of these heichalois, different things are happening. For instance, in the heichal called heichal haschos, you are judged, and it says that in that heichal is the Beis Din Shalmala. Now, did you ever hear these stories about the Beis Din Shalmala? Well, guess what? The Arizal tells us exactly where it is. It's in the world of Bria, and it's in the heichal of Zechus, and this Sanhedrin sits there and they judge. Yes.
Sorry.
Sure. No, it's okay. Yes.
Could you define precisely
What a heichal is? So, I wish I knew. have never been there. Well, I guess in my imagination I've been there. I'll tell you what I understand. What I understand is like this: that the spiritual world is a world. It's like it's not just a world; it's a universe. I mean, we have. Yes, it's such a loaded question. I'm going to go on a tiny tangent, but the question was a good question. Okay, just a little tangent. The little tangent is that when Reb Yitzchak Vorka was nifter, Reb Yitzchak Vorka was a massive tzaddik. He lived about 200 years ago in Poland. He was the best friend of the Kotzker. Everyone heard of the Kotzker? They were best friends. And a lot of people wonder how they could be best friends. Because the Kotzker was like fire and brimstone. And Reb Yitzchak Vorka was like love and kisses and hugs and I don't know mamish, but they were two different and they were best friends. Go figure, right? But they were. And this is what happened. When Reb Yitzchak Vorka was nifter, listen to this story, it's a fascinating story. His son was very alarmed that his father did not come back to appear to him in a dream, in a vision, give him a report of what's going on over there. Like this stuff was quite calm in the times of, believe it or not, by the times of the Archsiv Rebbe's, this stuff was happening. The Rizal, I want to tell you something, after the Rizal was nifter, he used to come back to Reb Chaim Vital and report. He used to tell him a lot of the Torah that Reb Chaim Vital got was after the Rizal was nifter already. So this is real stuff. I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but it's an important thing that I want to say. So the son of Reb Yitzchak Vorka was very disturbed that his father was not coming back to him to report. So he didn't know what to do. So he figured, you know what I'll do? I'll go to my father's best friend, the Kotzker, who happened to have been Tzaddik Hador, basically. There were other, competitors, but the Kotzker was like Rebbe of they say tens of thousands of Chassidim in Poland. He took over the whole Poland. Yes. Then there was a split. Don't ask. It got good. It got a lot of fun. The Ishbitzer split from the Kotzker. That was like World War II. It was all good. Everything was L'Shem Shemaim. Anyway, the son of Reb Yitzchak Vorka came to the Kotzker and he said to him, I don't understand what's going on. My father has not appeared to me. What about you? Did he come to you? Because they were best friends. So the Kotzker said, I was also wondering the same thing because he had not appeared to me either. So I went to find him. Listen to this. I went to find him. Okay. So this stuff is real stuff. The Kotzker went up to try to track him down. And the Kotzker said, I went into this heichal, the heichal of Avram Avinu. I think, I don't remember the details, but he went to the heichal of there's some kind of palace over there, Avram Avinu's palace. He went in, and he asked Avram Avinu, he said, have you seen my best friend, Reb Yitzchak Vorka? So he said, he was here, but he left and I don't know where he is. And he kept, I think he went to the heichal of Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, could be Moshe Rabbeinu, the heichal of Mashiach. They can't. And everyone said he was here, but he left. We don't know where he is. And then I don't remember the exact details, but somebody, I don't remember which. Maybe the Heichal HaMashiach. Someone said, if you go this and this way through the forest, listen for the crashing waves, and you'll find him. What does that mean? Is a forest in Shemayim? There is apparently, yes. So the Kotzker describes that he went through this deep, dark forest, and he kept going and going and going and going until he heard the sounds of crashing waves. So he said, "Ooh, a loud, crashing, thunderous. You know what's going on?" So he goes and he gets through the forest, and he sees a massive ocean, and waves are crashing. And by the ocean, there's a figure of a man standing with his staff. There is Chein, his staff. So he goes towards this person. He sees it's his friend, Rabbi Yitzchak Vorka. So he goes over to him and says, "How are you?" He says, "How are you?" They start schmoozing. And the Kotzker says to Rabbi Yitzchak Vorka, "What is this place?" And Rabbi Yitzchak Vorka said that for thousands of years the Yidden are crying for Mashiach, and they're crying to Hashem for their tsaras, and they're begging that Hashem should bring Mashiach. And this ocean is the ocean of their tears. Do you imagine? An ocean of tears. That's what he said. How could it? Do I understand it? I don't understand it. He says, this is the ocean of their tears. And he said, I told the Heilig Bashefer, I will not move from this place until you dry up their tears and you bring Mashiach. And that is why Rabbi Yitzchak Vorka had disappeared and nobody had heard from him. He told Hashem, I'm not moving. This is where I'm not going into Gan Eden. I'm not hanging around the Heichal of Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Moshe. This is where I'm staying until you dry up their tears and you bring Mashiach. Zechisam Yogan Aleini Valkol Yisrael. Now, why did I tell you the story? Because you see in Shemayim, I don't know what these things mean, but we have, the Chazal say, it says clearly in Chazal, that whatever we have down here is a reflection of what's up there. So there's some kind, I don't know what that looks like, a forest in Shemayim, but whatever we have down here is up there, just in a spiritual form, and this is when everything comes down to this level and takes on a physical form down here, because this is the world of physicality, it looks like a forest, it looks like a palace, it looks like trees. Am I making any sense?
Well, I don't understand what you're saying, because all the Hagdamas, all the Sifrei Kabbalah say it's a mashal, don't take it literally.
It is a... No, you're saying very good. Listen carefully. I don't know what it means that he went through a forest up there. I'm not telling you. I don't know. I'm just telling you the story, but there's such a thing as a forest up there. Now what, maybe those trees are Seamus. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what that means.
It's a
it could be anything. Like, I don't know. But that's what it means. There's some kind of spiritual something up there, and when it reflects down here, it takes on a physical form. But up there, I don't know what it looks like up there. But up there, it's called a forest. The same thing. Yeah, the same thing also. I don't want to go into a tangent. It says in Chumash, Hayad Hagadoila Asher Asa Hashem b'Mitzrayim. It says the Yidden saw Hashem's great hand. What does that mean? Hashem doesn't have a hand. What does that mean? It means that Hashem has something, and what you can express it in shame is I don't know what that thing is. But when that thing comes down to this world, it reflects in this world as a hand. But that's the real hand. You understand? This is not the real hand. This is just some physical what's the word? Representation of a spiritual thing up in Shemayim that's called a hand.
Isn't it up here it's pure energy, and here it's like a coarseness.
Yes,
so it manifests.
correct. However, but you have to know if a hand looks like this, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
In other words, chas v'shalom, there's no physical hand up there, but there's probably something up there that has to do with 5, and one of the 5 is shorter, and other ones are. And it's not just that this one's this side. It's you have no idea. Like everything means something. Nothing is just like.
No, of course.
Yeah. So the fact that we look like this is a very, very holy thing. It means we're a reflection of some big thing up there, right? I don't want to go too much on a tangent. Up there, we talked about it. There's something called Adam Kadmon. It's one of the highest worlds. It's called Adam. It's called a man. So what does that mean? So Chas v'Shalom is not a physical man, but it means that the way that we look with a head and ears and eyes and fingers and toes and etc., it's some kind of somehow a reflection. We are a physical reflection of some spiritual entity up there, but it's not physical up there. Is that okay? I'm trying my best. It's very hard. I want to tell you guys something. Gentlemen, it's very hard to describe spiritual things, entities. We only have these mashalim down. So, and even I don't know what I'm talking about. You have to understand. Do you understand? I don't really know. I'm just telling you what I see in Svarim and how I understand it. But there's definitely people that. Listen, there are people that listen. The Kotzker. Listen. The Kotzker went there. I said it before this year, but I'll say it again. I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but to me these things are fascinating. The Rebbe of Sam Sofer, I forget his first name. His last name was Adler. He's a giant makubal, and he said he even hired. I think I said this also before in the past. He even hired a Svardi person. He lived in Hungary to teach him how to pronounce. In Hungary, they never saw someone who pronounced. Today the Svardim, the way they pronounce things, right? Like the tuh, we say saf, they say tough, right? You didn't see that in Hungary. You never saw a person like that come out. So he found a certain Sephardi person and brought him to his house to teach him how to pronounce.
Really?
Yes, because I don't know if he learned that when he spoke. For Kabbalah, he had to know it. I don't know what. Anyway, this person used to go to these places, and he said that anytime he goes, he always sees wherever he goes. I think they went to a certain place. I don't know what I'm talking about. But when they go up, I think they go to certain places. And whenever I go there, the Rebbe Melech and the Rebbe Zisha are always there before me. They always beat me to it. What does that mean? I don't know what
contemporaries.
they live. So I'm just telling you, we used to have a thing that people used to go and see and experience. And today, could it be today? Some people can do it. Probably maybe Rabbi Morgenstern can do it in Eretz Yisrael. I don't know. But if anyone could do it, l'chayr he could do it. But do I know if he does it? Who knows? There's svarim that teach you how to do these things, but we avoid these svarim. These are dangerous. Today we consider these things very, very dangerous. Someone like Rabbi Morgenstern might dabble in the arts. Maybe. I don't know. But nah, totally not. Totally not. The Kranz is extremely down to earth, and he doesn't do that. He's very, very, very down to earth and he might want to, but he wouldn't do it. I've discussed these things with him. I don't know anyone, who certainly is doing it, but who knows? Anyway, the world has changed. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people that are doing this today, probably. But anyway, but it was done. It was done. You asked me, where do we get from this? You asked me, what is a heichal?
I just said,
yeah, right.
I was looking for a short definition.
Yeah, I know. I got carried away. The only way I can describe a heichal, it is a palace in Shemayim. But what does that look like? What is that? What does that mean? I don't know. What we know is that when you're done in Shachris, and you start the bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam yotze orev v'yirei choshech. You're entering the world of Bria, and then there are 7 heichalos. Okay. That was the little introduction. How are we doing time-wise? So. Quarter after nine? Quarter after nine. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So we are talking. So now we're talking about the next Heichal. We are on page Kuf Tzadik Beis, in the middle, at the bottom paragraph on Vav. And he says like this: Achar Kriya Shema ba'amiras v'yatziv v'nochoin oilin leheichal hashishi. Excuse me. When we get to the part in davening v'yatziv v'nochoin, right after Krishma in the morning, we go to the sixth heichal, number 6. It is called heichal haratzoin, the chamber of desire. That sounds pretty good, right? Sounds good to me. Vehu neged siras tiferes. Now we had said that every one of these heichalois are connected a different sphere, because in each of these worlds there are 10 spheres, right? So, for instance, in the world of Bria, you have 10 spheres, right? Kesef Chachmabina, etc., all 10 in each world. So the Heichal Haratzoin is connected the sphere of Tiferes in the world of Bria. Now we have that footnote that we were trying to get to, Lamed Gimel. Go to the left into the Rashi Oisis, Lamed Gimel Tiferes. The Fiseder Spheres. Oh, I remember this one. Okay. The Fiseder Spheres. I'm going to read it quickly, then I'll explain it. Mimata lamala hayaroi sheyeh mekoidem heichal haratzoin shehi tiferes. V'achakach heichal hazchus v'ahava shehem gvura v'chesed. Ve'lama nimsa heichal haratzoin lamala mehem. So he says the order is different. He says normally when we go up into the higher Oilamos, we start from the lowest Sphira, which is Malchus, and then we graduate to the next one up, which is Yesoid, thank you, and then we move up to Hoid, and then we move up to Netzach. That's how we move up. However, over here in the world of Bria, there is something strange going on. That for some reason, we get to the Heichalois of Chesed and Gvura before the Heichal of Tiferes. That's not in order. You're supposed to hit first Tiferes and then go to Bria and then to Chesed. That's how it's supposed to work. It's not Bria. You're supposed to hit the Heichal of Tiferes and then go to Gevura and then Chesed. However, in the arrangement that we have just described, we first go through the Heichalos that are connected with Gevura and Chesed, and then we go to Tiferes. So what is the reason for this? That is his question. Here comes the answer. V'atamhu, this is the reason. Lefi shepa'ulois ha'heichalois hatachtoinim hu lahalois es maaseh hatachtoinim lamala ve'atoira nimsis b'tiferes ka'amram zal im brachos b'tiferes zeh matan toira ve'ein lagia l'toira b'maaseh mekukalim chas v'shalom l'chein oilin mikoidem laheichal hazchos sheba danim es ma'aseh b'nei adam ve'zehi hageder ishmira la'adam sheis nahe keshura ki al yedei pachad hadin nishmarim b'nei ha'adam shelo yishami es el yitzhara lavor es divrei Torah v'lechein makdimin hagevura lezakech es b'nei ha'adam koidem she'egi el hatiferes lekabel ha'Torah. That's the answer. The answer is that Hashem has created the system intentionally out of order. Why? Because in order to enter the Heichal of where Ahava Rabbah, which is called the Heichal of Ahava, right? So 1 second. Correct. So what we need to do is like this. In the Heichal of Zechus, a person is judged. And when a person is judged, a person does tshuva, right? Because nobody wants to show up at the court guilty, right? You want to show up to the court in a nice press suit and you look good, and you don't want to show up like you look like a ganav. You don't want to show up that way in court. So the same thing here. Hashem has put the Heichal Schus out of order in order that we should go through that Heichal and get judged and do tshuva.
Tshuva first.
Correct. And then we proceed to the higher Heichalois, which is going to be where in the tefillah of Ahava Rabbah, and over there we're makabel the Torah, because that's what the whole bracha of Ahava Rabbah is all about. And when we go there, we have to be already in a state of purity. Therefore, Hashem somehow reverses the order of the Heichalois, so we should do tshuva first, get purified, and then move into the Heichal of Ahava Rabbah, and then be purified, and then we move ultimately into Atzilus, which is the Shemona Esrei.
It's a different Torah from Vayikra. It's between Shmos and Tefarim.
Yeah.
Because the process of Vayikra
It's purified. Purifies you. Very good.
From the Chet to Ego.
Very good.
To
Very good.
Go into Mitzrayim.
Very
So
good.
Rashi is.
Very good. Good point. Excellent point. Okay, good. So far,
So
so good.
Zechut is done before we say Shema.
Correct.
Then Heichal Ahava includes the Shema.
Correct.
And then we come out from the Shema and we go into Heichal Ratzon, which
Right.
is the Tiferet.
Right, which is out of order. Right.
The idea is you're doing Tshuva first.
Before you're makabel the Torah.
Of Zechut beforehand.
Exactly. It's. You said very good. You're doing tshuva number one before you're being makabel the Torah in the bracha of Ahava Rabbah. You're doing tshuva before you go to the next level, which is Kriya Shema, which is to be makabel all malchus shemayim. Right? You have to do tshuva before that, and then you're doing tshuva before ultimately you go into Shemona Esrei, which is the world of Atzilus. So tshuva is very, very important. Very important. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening in these heichalois. So far, so good. And okay, let's keep going until they call us for Marav. I hope they'll be Marav, right? They have 4. Maybe sometimes some people show up for Marav.
Then we're not doing the kollel tonight.
There's no call tonight. Oh, there's okay. Are there 5 guys there?
I can't say I'm honored.
Oh, you can't stay.
There's 6 guys there.
There's 6 guys here. We got it.
got it.
Oh Hashem. Okay, that is good news. Okay, let's keep going till they call. Can we keep going a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the next page. Kuf Tzadik Gimel. Zion. Bereish Tfilas HaShemona Esrei. Ooh. Okay, in the beginning of the Tfilah of Shemona Esrei. Ba'amiras, when we say Hashem Sifsei Tiftach, that's how we start Shemona Esrei. Of course, it means Hashem, open my lips. Oilin leheichal hashvi. Then we enter the 7th heichal. Hanikra heichal. Listen to this. Kodesh hakadoshim.
So hold on, let's just go back a second.
Sure.
So what did we receive, or what did we receive in the Heichal before the 6th Heichal?
What did we receive?
Well, I'm just trying to understand.
Sure. So heichal haratzon. You're asking what's going on in heichal haratzon. Is that your question?
Yes.
The who negative tiferes. He actually doesn't say. That's actually a very good question.
Because you're already doing tshuva from before.
Right.
But I don't see how that matters to do it before the Shema versus
You're
just before Shema.
you're making a very good heichal. One second. You know what? You stumped me, because I don't know really what happens in heichal haratzon. That's a very good question, and he doesn't say. He identifies it. He says this is it. This is where it is. He doesn't say exactly. The only thing we know about it is it's Keneged Tiferes, but I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to ask. If you remind me, I'm going to try to find out.
Okay.
This is in Bria still.
We're in Bria, yeah. We're in Bria, but now we just entered into Atzilus.
But we're still in Bria if it's the 7th Heichal.
Oh, so that's a very good point. So actually,
You said that the 7th.
so you
end of
correct.
one is the beginning of the other, maybe.
You were correct. One second. Yeah, so it seems like. Well, one thing I can tell you, that's a very good point. The seventh Heichal, which is called Heichal Kodesh HaKadoshim, is the beginning of the Tefillah Shemona Esrei. So actually, that's a very good question. I'm not sure if the seventh Heichal is still considered the world of Bria, or the seventh Heichal is already considered the world of Atzilus. That's a very good question. It's for sure right on the border. The question is, maybe that's the answer.
Once
Maybe
we say Baruch Atah, after that, are we still?
then we're for sure. Then we're for sure in Atzilus.
So are we still in that hateful?
No, that's a good question. No,
Maybe the Hashem Sifsei is a transition.
Let's see what he says. Good question. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what he says. Zayin. Bereish Tefillah Shemona Esrei, in the beginning of the Tefillah of Shemona Esrei, Bamiras, when we say Hashem Sifsei Tiftach, Hashem open my lips, Oilin, we rise LaHeichal Hashvi, to the seventh Heichal, Hanikra Heichal Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Heichal of the Holy of Holies. Vehu neged hagimel spheres harishoinois. Okay, Bina Chachma Keser, the Keser Elyon. Okay, so that's how we get, right? We already went through the first seven, now we're at the top three, which is Bina Chachma is going from down up. Bina Chachma Keser Elyon. That is that top Heichal called Kodesh HaKadoshim.
I'm going to tell you what you should do.
There is a note here. I'm just saying if some of these notes are very good for Pshat, some of these notes are like side things. I'm just looking to what he says here. Oh, look at this. Oh. Wow, this is a good one. Okay, we're going to do it. Lamed Dalet. Everyone look at Lamed Dalet. It's on the right side. The Keser Elyon. So we said that when we say Hashem Sivasai Tiftach, we enter the Heichal called Kodesh HaKadoshim, and Heichal Kodesh HaKadoshim is connected the spheres of Bina, Chachma, and Keser Elyon. Lamed Dalet, look on the side, Lamed Dalet, the Keser Elyon. Heichal Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Heichal of Kodesh HaKadoshim, Hu Gimel Rishonois de Bria. These are the three first Heichalois of Bria. When he says the first, he doesn't mean the first. He doesn't mean the first going down. He means the first from top down. The three highest. Yes. Which is Keser Chachma Bina. Shehi Echad im Malchus Detzilus. You hear this? You hear this? It's both. It is both. So he says that again. Now we're going to the higher world of Atzilus. Atzilus is also made up of 10 spheres. The lowest. Now we're entering the lowest sphere of the world of Atzilus, and the lowest sphere of any world is which sphere?
The highest is the one that's bringing.
No, what's it called?
Malchus.
Malchus. Exactly. So he says here that the three highest of Bria is the same thing as the lowest of. It's like a chain. It's like a chain, right? The two links in the chain, they're linked. They're part of each other. So Shehu Echad im Malchus Detzilus. This is the same thing as the sphere of Malchus of Atzilus. So we are in Atzilus now. You hear this? When we arrive at the Heichal of Kodesh HaKadoshim, we have already entered the Heichal of the Melech, the palace of Zachalach. We have already entered. I like that. He didn't ask me to ask him for money. He just helped himself and gave the money. Halavai should buy houses this way. Yes.
What is that?
What is this? This is a Sifsei Chein on Facebook. Check it out. Yeah, only $15. I paid. Look, guys. I paid $12 US. 15 Canadian is a big bargain, even with the tariffs.
But you should know that this is an older edition.
It is. It is an older edition.
It's a little smaller.
Yeah. So if you go to Miriam's, you could find it. But if you buy it at Miriam's, you're for sure going to pay $25, $30, $35.
If they even have it, and you're not going to.
And you don't have to have it. This is 80% of whatever they have in Miriam's, the new one. This is the essential thing. Okay. Next, I got. You want one? Sorry? Yo, you give it to me next time. No problem. No problem at all. I trust you. I know that you are not leaving town. Okay. When we reach the Heichal of Kodesh HaKadoshim, we have already entered into the Heichal, into the palace of Hamelech Malchoi Shel Olam, the king of the world.
At that point, right, there was no
Behechaloi Kuloi Oimer
so they could have
Kavoid. Ze Olam Atzilus. In his Heichal, everyone says Kavoid. Everyone gives honor to Hashem, and this is called the Olam Atzilus. Milashan. Why is it called the Olam of Atzilus? Milashan Etzloi. It is close to him. Atzilus. There's different meanings for the world of Atzilus, but the meaning that he says here is Eitzel means to be close.
This is your copy.
It says it's. I wrote in it. But listen. If you want it, I have notes in it. I do. Really? No, I have a new one already. You can have it for a discount if I wrote it. If you want it, it's up to you.
It's more valuable that way.
Like this. It's not $15, it's $20 special fee.
Okay. They give you
Well, this whole house is
special-
that way.
One of these, one day, the
discount, my friend,
day's
$20.
gonna come when this
House
one.
is it's all scratched up. Yeah, it's better this way. Yeah. I don't have to
Oh my
worry
gosh!
about it.
Oh my gosh! Okay, let's stay focused. Milashon Etzla. The Lashon. Why is Atzilus called Atzilus? One reason is because it's close. Eitzel means closeness. It's close to Hashem. We say, we're going to get into it, but we say the world of Atzilus is the world of Yud Kei Vav Kei. Now, it's not to say that there's nothing higher, because there is. And we spoke about it. Adam Kadmon, the world of Adam Kadmon is higher than the world of Atzilus. And guess what? If you get into the Svarm of Marin Harav Yisrael Sarok, you're going to see there's much higher Oilamos than even Adam Kadmon. But anyway, another reason why we call Atzilus, just by the way, is because Atzilus has in it the shorish of the word sel. Sel means a shadow. It's as if saying Kavayuchol, that when you enter the world of Atzilus, you're actually in Hashem's shadow. Can you imagine? We even have a pasuk like that. You know where? In Tehillim. Hashem Tzilcha Al Yad Yaminacha. You know what that means? You know what that means? Fantastic. What does that mean? Hashem is your shadow. Hashem Tzilcha. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means like this. There's a very important thing. A lot of times, let's say someone does something very bad to you, yeah? And right? We all had this, right? Someone does something very, very bad, low, dirty. Someone does something very bad to you, or says something bad about you. Who knows? Whatever it is, and you don't want to forgive that guy. You don't like that guy. You don't want to forgive that guy. Guess what? Hashem Tzilcha. Hashem is your shadow. If you want, listen. Are we all perfect? No. Have we all done bad stuff? Probably. Right? Or definitely. Right? None of us are perfect. So if we want Hashem to forgive us when we goof up, then we have to forgive other people when they give up. And that's what it means, Hashem Tzilcha. Hashem is your shadow. If you treat other people, if you forgive other people when they don't deserve it, they did something nasty to you, and they don't deserve it, and you forgive them anyway, then we who unfortunately sometimes do bad things and nasty things to the Heilig Bashefer, He will forgive us also, because Hashem Tzilcha, Hashem is your shadow. Interesting, huh?
I don't understand the imagery. I must be tired.
You don't understand the imagery?
Yeah,
A shadow. Look at the shadow.
follows
Shadow
you.
does, look at the shadow. See my shadow?
It does what you do.
I close my fingers. The shadow does it. It does what I
So you
do.
forgive, so he forgives.
Sure. Absolutely. This should be a chizuk for everybody to forgive, even whatever it is. You gotta forgive. You gotta forgive.
Rav Nosson says that if someone embarrasses you publicly,
Yes. Biggest.
and you just grin and bear it, you should have gone to the mikveh first, because it's such an opportunity for tshuva.
That's right. Exactly. They say also if that happens to somebody, he gives someone a bracha after. That's a very, very, very big bracha. Like, very good chances that thing's gonna happen. That's what they say.
Who's the guy who insulted her?
If someone got insulted publicly, Either way, but publicly is the worst. Publicly is the worst. And then the person's very, very embarrassed, and he doesn't answer back, and he just bears it. If you go to that person that bared that embarrassment, no pun intended, you can get and he gives you a bracha. That bracha is massive. Yeah, massive. Yeah. There's a story I just reminded myself. Like, you have to go to you have to leave. You're okay. You're just standing. Or you want to stay awake? There's a crazy story. The Rebbe Buruchel was an Einikel of the Baal Shem Tov. He was a real Einikel. He was the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov had a daughter Udal, and Udal had two kids. The oldest one was the Degel Machan Ephraim, and the second was the Rebbe Buruchel. Degel Machan Ephraim wasn't really a Rebbe. He was just a tzaddik, and he wrote a massive sefer, but he wasn't a Rebbe of thousands. The Rebbe Buruchel was like, they said on him, he was like Rebbe of all Rebbes. The Rebbe Buruchel had a palace. Don't ask. Like, the Rebbe Buruchel was, and then he moved back to Mezhbitz. He wanted to be in the city, in the same shul as his Zayda, the Baal Shem, because he held that he is the continuation of the Chassidus. He is the Rebbe of all Rebbes. The whole thing. When he was young, they took him. The Pinchas Koritzer was the greatest Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov, from the very, very greatest. He took him. I think he took him into his house. He started tutoring him. They were mamish. The tzaddikim used to stop by the. I think it was Pinchas Koritzer's house. They used to stop by to check up on him. How's Rebbe Buruchel doing? They were raising him to be tzaddik. Anyway, to make a long story short, the Rebbe Buruchel became a giant tzaddik. Some people say tzaddik ador, and he probably had thousands of chassidim, and he was very fire and brimstone, very, 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 very. And there was once a time that he was sitting in shul with his mechitten, and there was a tish, and the Rebbe Buruchel was a very fiery. I'm careful how I'm going to talk, but he was like an angry tzaddik. He was a tzaddik. No, I have to say it. The Rebbe Buruchel was so, and he was often down. He was down and he was angry. They had to hire a full-time jester to be in the Rebbe's house to keep him happy and make jokes. You know who that was? He's buried in Meshbis. You can be by the caver. Astropolia. All those stories. You know those stories? You don't know those stories? What was it? Not Shamshin.
I just know Rav Shimshon was the
So one second, Shimshon was Astropolia, was a big makubal, but that wasn't him. It was I forget his name. I forget his name now. Anyway, they had to hire a full-time badchan. It was hilarious to crack jokes so the Rebbe Buruchel would be in a good mood. The Rebbe Buruchel was a fiery. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Because he was once sitting by the tish, I don't know, Friday night tish something. He was sitting with his mechitten, okay? And he starts, there was one certain chussid, I don't know what, why, who. He starts publicly taking apart this chussid. He starts mocking him. Like, you're talking about, like, there's hundreds of people in the room. And he picks on this one guy and he starts making fun of him and mocking him. And the guy is turning colors. And it was like you never saw such cruelty. And he was like, he didn't stop. So the Mechitten told the Rebbe Buruchel, he said, Mechitten, you're killing him. You're killing him. He said, I'll explain to you after. Afterwards he told him, Rebbe Buruchel told him he saw that there was a gzar din on this person, that this person is going to die. And when you embarrass somebody in public, it's as if you killed him. And because I did that to him, he's going to live now. That's what he told him. Can you imagine? And the Rebbe Buruchel didn't tell that to the whole tish. The Rebbe Buruchel just looked like this angry. Nobody knew what to make of it. Nobody knew what to do with it. I'll tell you one more crazy story. I shouldn't say crazy, but it was viewed very interesting. The biggest tzaddik in let's call it a competitor, if you want to say that, to the Rebbe Buruchel was the Barditchever. Levi Yitzchak Ben Sarasasha from Barditchev. Barditchever Tzaddik was like, everyone loved him and he loved everyone, and he only had a good thing to say about everybody. The Rebbe Baruch Hu used to constantly mock him. Not just mock, publicly. He used to crack jokes, mocking the Barditchever. Constantly was doing this. Like everybody knew, like the arch enemy of the Rebbe Baruch Hu is the Barditchever. Like he hates him. That was the whatever. That's what it looked like, right? Like constantly making fun of him, and because the Barditchever used to do funny. Used to know when the Barditchever made Kiddush, it was like a whole. He used to imitate. Like, don't ask. Anyway, the Barditchever is nifta. He passes away, and one chussid of the Rebbe Baruch Hu finds out, and he runs to the Rebbe Baruch Hu. He thought he has the best news in the world for the Rebbe Baruch Hu. But he comes in there and he says, the Barditchever was nifter. He thought he was like giving him a Besoyer Tova. And the Rebbe Baruch Hu says, what? And he breaks down and starts crying. So the chussid said, "What? I don't understand. What? You never liked him. What do you mean?" He said, "You don't understand." He says like this. He says, "I tried to minimize the prestige of the Barditchever. Because had I not done what I would have done, the Samach Mem, the Yitzhak would have for sure destroyed him. Because I minimized it, he's a Rebbe of 1,000 Chassidim. Because I made him light, I destroyed his reputation publicly, I was able to keep him alive, that the Yitzhak shouldn't destroy him. Because that's what he said. But now that he's gone, did we lose a tzaddik. That's what he said. Zechisam Yogen Aleni Valkol Yisrael. Amen. I have to say before I shut off that the reason that we learn this material is only for the purpose of coming close to Hashem and being davek to Him. And even though we're learning a lot of high holy things, and we're going as the Baal Shem Tov did, the only reason why the Baal Shem Tov did this was only as a method to bring people to come close to Hashem with real, sincere dveikus, and not for any other purpose. Chag kosher v'sameach, a listigen Pesach.
Thank you so much.